Thank you all for being here this evening. I think of Balloons for Love and why provide balloons to children when there's so many other things like research. I believe that lifting children's spirits really does make a difference in how they respond to their treatment and really does lift their spirits in the moment. And I believe living in the moment is the most beautiful thing. I decided that after further investigation that Mylar balloons were the only thing that children could have from intensive care to just being in the hospital. So that's what we did. We started Balloons for Love. So for those of you who don't know, I actually have it tattooed here. So if you'd like to see it, yeah, you're more than welcome to. I am committed to Balloons for Love and touching children's lives and lifting their spirits. And at this moment, I believe that there could be children who are being admitted right now who are receiving a balloon. So that makes me feel really great. A little bit about my mom and why we're here this evening. My mom was such an amazing woman. She was beautiful in her heart. She was beautiful in outer beauty. She was the most gentle woman, and she was a beautiful mother. What I really felt was her inner beauty of putting that warm blanket on me and saying goodnight, and that she was going to be back. And that feeling was just so beautiful that I miss it so much. If she was here this evening, she would thank all of you for being here. She would just be very genuine and kind.
I'm very pleased to tell you how Balloons for Love has made a difference for the patients at my hospital. My name is Susan Martinez, and I'm the Director of Advocacy and Volunteers at Children's Hospital in Oakland. We are a nonprofit freestanding hospital, and for nearly 100 years our mission has been the same, and that's to serve children regardless of their family's financial circumstances. I'm sure you can all quickly appreciate the toll that the recent economy takes on a mission like that. We, even in the best of times, our funds are dedicated towards medical resources, and we know that the children coming through our doors need great medicine, but they also need the things that they have at home if they're at home and healthy, which is toys and games, celebrations of the events in their life, including birthdays and including balloons. I remember exactly the day that I first talked to Barbara. We had run out of balloons from the donations that we had. They came in very sparsely and very occasionally. We were always thrilled to have them. And that particular day, I had to turn away 3 staff people who wanted to get balloons for their patients. 2 patients were celebrating a birthday, another had just completed a bone marrow transplant, and we didn't have balloons for them. And the phone rang, and it was Barbara, and she wanted to know what we needed. And I said, without hesitation, we need balloons today. She didn't blink. She just said, well, what do you need? And I said, well, I need them in Spanish and English. I need birthday balloons. I need balloons that say congratulations. And I just spelled out the whole array of patients and circumstances that we see. A spectacular box of beautifully chosen balloons. There's a lot of love and time that went into that box. For the next several months, we had balloons whenever any patient needed them. Whether it was a birthday or they were completing a role of physical therapy or having a heart surgery, we were able to do that. I'll tell you a little bit about the power of a balloon. This happened just before we met. We received a patient who was flown in from Iraq. He was actually the first child to leave Iraq to be treated in the United States from the war there. He was in intensive care units. He stayed there for many months. But the very first night that he came in, I went to visit him. He had a room in the intensive care unit. He didn't have a window, and he was, of course, in pain. He was scared. He was frightened. The language was unfamiliar. He didn't know what was happening to him. He'd never been on a plane before or away from his mother, and here he was halfway around the world, going through a lot of very terrifying procedures. He had been in Iraq in his hometown, and he'd been at his school, and he'd picked up what he thought was a ball, and it turned out it was a bomb. And his brother realized what it was and grabbed the bomb. The bomb exploded in his brother's arms and killed his brother, but the patient also lost a hand, an eye, almost all of his fingers. And here he was at our hospital getting the care that would save his life. I grabbed a balloon. I remember the balloon itself. It was blue and green. It had a lot of fish on it. It was the happiest balloon I could find in the moment, and I blew it up and I took it to him. I went in the next day, and I went in the next day, and the second day I went back, and his father pulled me aside and with an interpreter told me that balloon went with him everywhere he went. If he had to have an x-ray, he insisted that balloon was tied to his wheelchair and went with him. If he had to go for surgery, they made sure that they had that balloon waiting in the recovery room. It was his best friend, and it's the thing that started his road to recovery. and getting out of the hospital. He's now starting high school. His family has all moved here. It's an amazing medical story, and it's also an amazing story of community support. It wouldn't have happened without somebody donating that balloon, because we just didn't have that resource. We're still doing the medical care. A balloon might seem like a really small thing, but to a child in the hospital, it can be everything. I just want to thank you personally on behalf of the hundreds of children that have now received balloons from Balloons for Love. You have made a difference in all of their lives. You've changed not only that particular day that they received it, but maybe their entire healthcare, hospital experience, maybe even a part of their childhood, and it makes a huge difference. So thank you, Barbara, for following your heart, and also thank you to everybody that's donated with us.
I'm Douglas Harding, the founder, president, chief pilot of Hope Flight Foundation. We started it 5 years ago. We fly children with cancer and any other life-threatening illness. Right now we're in California, Oregon, and Nevada. We're based at Hayward Airport. And so I'll fly out to the small airport, pick up a parent and a child, and bring them to the Bay Area free of charge for their chemo, radiation, or surgery. September 30th, we flew a 3-year-old, Ivana. She had a small intestinal transplant at UCSF, and she was down for follow-up check, so she's doing fine. So Barbara came out and gave her some balloons. She felt very special, very big smile. She just felt like a star that day. When you make a child happy, we know that helps the healing process. When they're joyous and you get the endorphins and all the good chemicals going in your body. So appreciate that. She really had a great day that day. So I know we'll do some more of the balloons for the kids. So again, we've heard the statement, it takes a village to raise a child. It also takes a team to fight cancer. So I want to thank all of you for being here and helping in that battle. And helping Barbara too. Thank you.